If you think the beach is somewhere you can go and relax, this video will surely change your mind about it. From drunk monkeys and giant sea animals to storms of crayfishes and snails, and from sea monsters to bizarre fish behaviors, we have for you beach moments not filmed no one would believe. A shark rescue. Great white sharks are known to be the ferocious and dangerous creatures all the time, but it is at times like these when they are so helpless and so vulnerable that we can't help but feel sympathetic toward them. And that is exactly how these people felt when they saw a great white shark all beached up on the shore. Who knows how she even ended up there? What they knew was that they needed to help her somehow by pouring buckets of water on her, dragging her into the water just any way possible. Being the threat she still was, they knew they couldn't just get her back to the water with bare hands. Hence, they arranged a boat, tied her up to it, and dragged her into the water, and took her to free her in the deep water. Hopefully, she will remember the kind humans and will return the favor someday. Before moving any further, like this video and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content. A giant crab. Moving on from the great white sharks to just the same size crab. Yes, you heard me right. A big, giant crab was seen washed ashore. The men filming the whole video got so excited that they ran fast in case the crab might go back into the water. As soon as they got a hold of it, they dragged it out of the water, and the video ended there. God knows what they did to the poor crab. Osprey hunts shark. This footage, recorded by a guy through his drone, shocked the world when it saw an osprey clutching a shark like a fish in its claws and flying home. Just imagine the power of those claws. It looks so easy for the bird. They are such fascinating creatures, and their wingspan and size is incredible, and the type of prey they are able to catch is a sign that these birds own the skies. Rescue of baby great white shark. A group of teenage surfers found a juvenile great white stranded on rocks. They tried to lift it back into the water, but due to rocky terrain and shallow water, the shark couldn't swim its way out of the ocean. At first, they tried the shark to maintain its consciousness by throwing some water on it, and then they did what they do best: used their surfboard to carry the shark to a better location, where they released it back in the water and saw it swimming to its home. Good work, lads. Whales washed ashore. November 7th, 2017. The world witnessed a bizarre phenomenon when around 140 pilot whales were seen all washed ashore. All of them together. People said that there was a chance that they might have beached themselves, but the reason remained unknown for this mysterious behavior. According to the locals, this wasn't the first time that this had happened, and that sea creatures were seen before washed up on the beach. But such an amount of whales beaching themselves happened for the first time ever. The rescue workers were called, but until they could reach it, it was too late, and the whales were all gone already. Manta ray rescued. When a huge manta ray washed up on the beach, people were a little hesitant to help her at first. But then, two of the men urged the others to come help them, as the giant, helpless creature was in desperate need of their help. Due to the net's traps, the unfortunate animal was absolutely immobilized, and if it weren't for these heroic men, it would have died. They asked everyone to lend a hand, as the time was running out. Everyone sprinted to save the ray at Praia de Costa Dourada in Brazil, and ended up saving the life of a lovely creature. Shark gets swallowed. Some fishermen caught a great white shark and instantly might have regretted it that they planned to release it back into the water. But as soon as they did, a Goliath grouper came out of nowhere and literally swallowed the whole shark in one gulp. Poor creature's time was up, I guess. Millions of red crayfish. A couple of months ago, on Elands Bay in Western Cape, thousands of crayfish were seen washing ashore. The mystery, however, still remains as to why it was happening. Most of the crayfish were already dead and gone. The ones left were either taken by people for their dinner or they just died there. According to authorities, the crayfish were small and they did not look good to eat, but the dangers and warnings were not enough to stop people. Let's just hope they did not get upset stomachs after dinner that night. A walking starfish. We all know Patrick from SpongeBob, and we all love starfishes in the water. Let's just say I'm only a fan of theirs as long as they stay under the water, because on the ground, trying to walk so slowly, they look nothing but creepy as hell. Imagine walking on the beach with no one around and seeing this creepy fellow sunbathing. I mean, why can't they just stay underwater? A mysterious blob creature. With every passing day and every discovery made, we somehow get far, far away from actually getting to know what's under there. For instance, look at this giant carcass of a creature unknown to humans. I mean, after years and years of deep-sea diving and discovering most of the ocean, we still get things which even the scientists don't know about. Even though this video was captured and premiered on Nat Geo, they still had no explanation about it. This 20-foot-long sea creature was first called the remains of a big whale, but then it was never confirmed, which just adds up to the mystery of the ocean. Whale High Five Surfer. This clip is a true representation of how the ocean can be a beauty and a chaos depending on what the creatures are in the mood for. For instance, in this clip, we see a large whale just passing by the surfer, and there it gives just a little push to the border. But if the whale might have been in a slightly bad mood, the scenario might not have been the same. For now, we'll just enjoy how soothing this clip actually is. A sun-bathing crocodile. Recorded by a tourist in 2019 in Mexico, this clip shows the lone crocodile crawling back to its home like an emperor back to his palace. The people on the beach were horrified and didn't go near the croc till he was back in the water, with no plan to turn around and have lunch, thankfully. It was later known that there was an ecological reserve nearby, which feeds these crocs, and this one was surely returning after a lunch with his tummy full. Or the people on the beach might not have been that lucky. A gray visitor. A man was recording the peaceful moments on the beach through his drone when he came across a weird sight. A massive gray whale was seen lurking beneath the clear blue waters, with the humans being ignorant of her presence right underneath them. As soon as they noticed the whale, they tried getting away, but the whale might just be there for a swim, or maybe she just wanted to be friends. But no human tried befriending her, so we shall never know. Man rescues great white shark. Okay, let me ask, what would you do if you came across a great white shark stranded on the beach? You'll do what the man in the first clip did, no? You'll tie it up with a boat or something and then free it in the water. I mean, anyone with a sane mind would do that. But no, this man had something else in mind, because he held the shark's tail with his bare hands and dragged it back to the water. I mean, yeah, a very good deed he did, but you'll need to try and be more careful, you know? There was a big chance that the shark might have taken him with it and made a whole meal out of him. An aggressive hippo. With the reason behind this hippo's anger burst unknown, all we know is that he really wants to reach the boat and smash it all up. Captured in 2021, this clip shows an angry hippo furiously chasing a tourist's boat in Kenya. When passing by, the tourists noticed that the hippo was looking at them, but what they did not know was its intentions. Good thing the boat was fast and the tourists were actually able to save themselves from the giant beast. Who knows, maybe he was tired of them tourists being around, you know? A huge sunfish. A tuna fishing boat noticed a giant fish tangled in its nets off the Mediterranean coast of Ceuta. It was later that this giant fish was identified as the mammoth sunfish, a species classed as vulnerable and not eaten in Europe. It was 3.2 meters long and 2.9 meters wide, making it the biggest ever caught. The fish was first isolated in an underwater chamber attached to the boat, before being lifted aboard using a crane, where it stayed for a few minutes, and after that, thankfully, it was released back into the ocean. The largest sea turtle. Just as the title says, it was the largest turtle. And no, this video is not fake. Hundreds of people were shocked when they saw it, and so were we when we did too. These are known as the leatherback turtles, and this one here, which was a pretty large one, might have hidden somewhere to lay eggs, and when done, just came out and went into the water. Now the researchers are surprised, as according to them, these turtles are highly unlikely to come out in the presence of humans, let alone in broad daylight. But I guess they are doing it now. Millions of snails. The world was shocked to see the unusual behavior of tiny snails when millions of them washed up on the Fort de Soto beach. Looking from afar, it looks like a black sheet or a black wave on the beach, but go up close and you will see millions of tiny creatures slugging around and covering the entire length of the place, leaving everyone weirded out by this bizarre phenomenon. The videos and images of this went viral almost instantly, and people started questioning the reason. Still, no one was able to give a proper explanation. Mysterious trolls. This video was captured by some tourists in Thailand, and it almost instantly went viral on the internet. From all over the world, people started wondering what these creatures were and what exactly they were doing there. And just as you might have thought, the mystery still remained unsolved. Upon closer look, these little creatures were full of hair and were involved in some kind of ritual when disturbed by the humans. As creepy as this must look, surprisingly, they did not seem to be minding the presence of others a lot. What do you think it was? Do let us know in the comments. A rare squid. On August 16, 2022, a massive squid, about 14 feet long, with an eye almost the size of a dinner plate, was discovered washed up among the rocks on Scarborough Beach in Cape Town, South Africa. Researchers say they don't know why a gigantic squid washed up on the coast, but they speculate that it may have been hit by a ship. Deep-sea species typically travel up at night to feed, and then return before dawn, so the squid's demise may have been caused by this behavior. Dead humpback whale. Till now, you must have been kinda used to sea creatures being washed ashore, be it squids, crayfishes, or others. As much as they are a rare sight, seeing a white whale being washed up on the beach is something you will hardly witness even once in your life. Considering the rarity of the phenomenon, locals left no chance to miss it and kept coming to see what lies there of the dead whale, till the authorities came and removed the whale. As it happened in July 2022, they say the investigation is still going to get to the reason behind the whale's death. For now, all we know is that the whale was a female humpback whale, not a male, which the locals thought it was. A foamy sea. When large blooms of algae decay, great amounts of decaying algal matter often wash ashore, which looks like whipped cream. And when this happened in Coats Resort Beach in Argentina, the people thought it was really fun to go dive and swim into. On the positive note, seafoam is not harmful. So yeah, if you witness it someday in your life, you can just run, splash, and enjoy it without any worries. Just know that you might come out all sticky, and smelling fishy as well. To be honest, they all look like bathing in a room full of shaving cream. A sea turtle rescue. August 2019, a team of volunteers spotted a female sea turtle. It might have not alarmed them if it was not for the net trailing out of her mouth. They knew something was wrong and that she needed help. So they got her out and decided that they would do whatever is necessary to help her. It was stuck all through the back of her throat, making it difficult for the turtle to even breathe. To their surprise, she had a small hook stuck in her tongue and a big chunk of the net in her throat. They were able to get it out and then release her in the water. Poor turtle might be so relieved and thankful to the humans. An alien-like creature. Australia. Well, I'd call it the land of the strange if I could name it, with all those weird creatures coming out of there. And among other weird things in Australia, an alien-like creature was washed ashore and spotted by a man. According to him, it was something that looked different from anything he had ever seen in his life. But if you ask me, Those gigantic flies look more ghostly to me than the creature itself. Okay, well, coming back to the creature, to me it looks a little like a lizard and a kangaroo. Or both? I'll just leave it to you guys to guess. Fishes beaching themselves. It might look shocking to someone watching it for the first time, but for these fishes, beaching themselves is quite a normal behavior. Most fish probably cringe at the idea of beaching themselves on purpose, especially since they can't breathe out of water. But this is something that the grunion fish does rather frequently, namely when it comes time to mate. When females are ready to lay eggs, they'll beach themselves on the warm beach sands and drill their bodies straight down into the sand to lay their eggs safely beneath the surface. They'll attempt to get as far up on the beach as they can to keep their eggs safe from the ocean's waves. Yes, they come to the ground to mate and hurry back as soon as the deed is done. It, however, gives a buffet-like feeling to all types of birds there. A huge Goliath grouper. This enormous fish was discovered dead on the shore, and because it was so massive, a crane was needed to transport it. There are rumors that the red tide is what caused this nightmare fish, known as a Goliath grouper, to be discovered dead on the beach. Beachgoers found this washed-up giant pretty fascinating, even though this creature could be the stuff of nightmares for others. But it's still sad to see such a huge thing meeting its end in such a way. A mysterious sea creature. A very bizarre thing happened when a hairy creature washed ashore in the US state of Oregon. The creature had no face or any other feature through which it could be determined what it was. The people filming it might be the first ones to encounter it, as there are no other people around, and the thing appears to be quite long and big. If you have any idea about what this might be, do let us know in the comments below. Sharks with missing livers. This shark beached itself on Santa Cruz. Upon closer examination, it was seen that the shark was injured and that her liver was missing. And this was not the first case. There were a lot of other white sharks which washed ashore either dead or alive. But all of them had one thing in common: missing livers. It remained a mystery for a long time, the questions unanswered. What was happening under the deep waters? Who was causing all this? And then we got to know that the culprit behind this was none other than the killer whales. These ferocious hunters are known to hunt thousands of pound sharks only to snack on their fat-rich liver. The rest of the body is left for scavengers, or it just simply washes ashore like this one did. Alcoholic monkeys. Meet the Caribbean monkeys who gulp down beachgoers' drinks that they've been snatching. It was all okay to some extent, but then these monkeys crossed all limits and started targeting only alcohol. They frequently get caught grabbing drinks from people on the beach and then acting strangely after becoming intoxicated. I mean, see for yourself what these little things are doing. Stargazer on beach. Although they are legitimately thought of as the nightmare inhabitants of the reefs, stargazers are extremely rare to be found on the shore. A stargazer was discovered by the man who had been walking on the beach when something struck his foot. The man was fortunate because some of these fish have venomous spikes or can electrocute. An electric shock or a toxic shot would result from stepping on them. In addition, they enjoy hiding in the sand and ambushing their victim. So as soon as this man put the animal back in the water, it sank under the sand. Weird exploding creature. This video was captured in Japan when two men were walking on the beach and noticed something not so usual there. They decided to go and get a closer look to know what it was. The creature was moving like a slug, and that is when one of the guys started poking it with a stick, which made the creature turn upside down. And that is when it got all angry and exploded in anger, causing the two guys to run away. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for getting updates related to our latest videos.